is a very strong tool, specifically with a couple of heroes that come to mind. So I'm sure that's what they're setting up for. But they're going to fight into a Wyvern Tiny as far as the response early on.
Yeah, I think King already did a great job on Tiny in game 1, so I think that that's like a comfort thing for them. And it's also a flex pick if they choose to run up. But Magnus is a hero that I personally I think has fallen off, but teams still like it, just in terms of it puts less stress on your one position, because you're not as under the gun to be like, I gotta have a good laning phase. You're like, whatever. Like much as how TNC played the Terrorblade in game 1. Terrorblade did not have a very good laning phase. He was up against that Nature's Prophet, did not do that great. He got his tower taken, but he was like, whatever, man. I'm a Terrorblade. I can go into...
Doesn't matter. Phantom Assassin.
Yes, I'm also not a fan of that, but, you know.
Huskar, so are they gonna swap things up again with are they gonna Huskar mid? I mean, I assume that's just...
Yeah, it's Huskar mid.
Against the Conka, he does very well in that matchup, so yeah, I'm gonna have to think that. But all right, well, yeah, it's talking about the Huskar, by the way, as far as how it matches up in Fire. I want to say the pushback disarm is good against the cores of TNC.
The disarm is good, but the problem is that there's so much burst damage that his Berserker's Blood HP regen I don't feel is going to be particularly effective, because PA is just big crits, Kanka is big right clicks, and Huskar thrives most when he's able to like armlet toggle constantly at critical HP, and Berserker's Blood HP regen is working in overdrive, and you're able to just toy around with these little like chippy hero like DK first, where they're like, okay, first we gotta kill this Razor or DK or some other Viper or some other super tanky target, and then we can worry about the Huskar. No, Weaver is like gonna be like one stifling dagger, and you're like, alright, that's him taken care of, now let's move on to Huskar.
Yeah, I know the draft isn't everything, especially when dealing with great teams here in this major tournament, but especially with the 1-0 lead for TNC, I am worried a little bit for Chaos and going into game number 2. But how I feel, frankly, doesn't matter. It's how they play. We'll see how that looks in the end. Misery's going to go down with a smoke middle lane. He's going to get a ward in.
So that Huskar can constantly keep the spears on cast 2-0. Where Cleave, you know, now gets factored in by armor, and Huskar has 0 armor.
30 seconds to battle.
Did I not know that? Should I have known that Huskar has 0 armor?
I don't know, maybe. It's not a hero we've seen for a long time, all the... No, it does.
Oh yeah, okay,
it's
so
the
that's
+3 right now, so...
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
he's at 0 armor base.
Interesting. Okay, I guess legs.
From what I remember hearing from previous analysts in the past is that Huskar right now, and maybe was before, does do to deal with, and you see level 1 right away. It's just going to start being applied. Kanka needs to get in there for those last hits, so yeah, it's going to be difficult for him. That would be my guess. The body out, Tavo quite a bit. In fact, it is a tri-lane down here. You got the Lich, Grimstalk. This is deadly. This is a tri-lane that will kill you, as they're going to show right here, in fact. Tavo, I mean, you're just dead. What can King already do? It's just like, I can stay over here and Splinter Blast again in a couple seconds, but that's it. Eventually the auto attack.
Oh, the salves.
That's... Wow. Yeah, that was never going to work.
No.
Well, at least he didn't try to TP out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Meanwhile, Rior is sending Misery on a wild goose chase in the top lane.
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah, things get a little too hairy.
Yeah.
And mid lane, I don't know, man. I'm looking at these numbers right now.
Yeah, numbers suggest Kanka's absolutely dominating, so whoever said that was an idiot, clearly.
Clearly on the authority. Meanwhile, bot lane, Winter Wyvern. Dude, freaking Inkswell Frost Shield.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have the Phantom Strike yet, and she's still just like clobbering these heroes in like a 400 AoE.
And this isn't like a new combo. This is literally like the first combo we started seeing, 7.20.
It was this one and Darkseer Spirit Breaker, and everyone was like, well, this is 7.20, this is the meta.
That's why I'm still just in shock that they let this get through all the way to the final pick, and they're just gonna go again, because blind is Misery. He doesn't even have Snowball yet, he's still level 1, so it's yet another kill, make it 3-0. Tavo, he's probably good. Frost Shield, he's got another dagger in 4 seconds. He's gonna Blink Strike in and just simply needs to cut him down. I mean, they're running a tri-lane into this now, and that's still not working.
Oh, don't worry, your solo lanes aren't doing that well either, because Kanka managed to get a solo kill on the Huskar mid as well.
Yikes.
I mean, on the bright side, Ninja Boogie is out of oh no, he's got a mango. Oh my god, the aggression, it never ends.
In fact, I'm almost surprised Wyvern chose not to get Cold Embrace, although maybe that wouldn't have been the biggest difference maker. Because I'm talking about this, though, they're kind of fighting back some of King Art. A Blink Strike on him. He goes down. Misery will get the turn kill onto the Wyvern, or onto the Lich, excuse me, at least. But now they're going to go for Tim's even. Avalanche connects slightly, not the most damage, though, so cannot finish the job. Tusk having to respect that Phantom Assassin, of course, but we definitely have a very, very active bottom lane down here. But overall, 6-1 lead for TNC. As we're just now hitting that 3-minute mark. But yeah, you keep going back to the lane.
He might be able to get a kill on Rior. No, not quite.
He's going to survive there. Yeah, that's the top lane. It's like, oh, by the way, there's a top lane here.
Initially, it was a two-lane setup, but Tiny and Tusk all realized that their services are better spent in the bot lane, at least supposedly. They haven't really shown it yet, but the level 2 power spike is pretty big for Chaos, being able to get tag team available and actually have Avalanche. Top 1 for Avalanche as opposed to Toss. I guess both of them are fine in this situation, but Avalanche seems like the more defensive option. Toss is the more aggressive option, and Gabby is just not scared at all. He isn't being able to last hit, but that's because Lich is pulling the lane right now, and now Chaos.
Say hello and again, how is that going to translate, though? It's not the easiest Weaver game necessary in a hero that's considered. Gabby dominating streak now, and Tusk just forced to snowball away. Not much again he could do to. Well, I guess if he close enough could have snowballed, but he wasn't, so ends up getting out of there. And maybe this was it, because I am looking back at this middle matchup now, and as the levels are adding up, you do see Huskar catching up quite a bit. Getting those burning spears specifically. So it is still Kunkka on top as a 5-minute Foundryans are here, though, and they're fighting for it. No surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Gabby, he's in the midst of it with
TNC
that
fighting? What?
Shocker, I know. In this series, we totally didn't expect this. They get the 1 kill on Tusk. They're going to go for the 2nd on Tavo. Wyvern, stay away, Wyvern. You do not want to be a 3rd victim. And that he does just stay away.
So more mental damage than actual. Chaos so high level. Lich is level 3.5, and as is Grimstroke, they can migrate to other lanes like this mid lane. As now we have the X boat combo on HFN.
There's no way he's getting out of that one. So nice gank setup. Yeah, the good rotations, and they're headed right back towards the bottom lane. So the duo proven to be very deadly in multiple lanes now. Gonna keep that moving. So Phantom Assassin not only 4-0-4, but her CS is respectable. And again, this is pre-empower. You also have to remember, which by the way, Rior gets picked up at the top lane thanks to the assist of Misery, who rotated up there with the haste ring. So both supports on either side being useful. Back to bottom lane, Tavo, he's pulled in and every which way. The Avalanche saving him initially. Frostblast though, and out with the Stork of Fate. Take over, Tsunami.
Freaking Tiny is just taking abuse, and I guess it's just intentional. Armel, it doesn't really concern me that he's not spending time in the lane, because he's still doing very well in CS, using boat casually to farm out the wave. I think maybe he knew that Huskar's missing and he wants to force Huskar back to the lane. But yeah, I like, the biggest thing for me is no matter how big Weaver gets, no matter how much he itemizes, there's nothing he can do against X easily until he gets like a BKB. And even then, like, do you really want to have to BKB? You need BKB and Lincolns to confidently be like, yes, I can go into team fights and I don't need to be worried about instantly dying to X into Inkswell or X into Sinister Gaze or X into Phantom's Embrace. There are so many things that are not going for Weaver. So I think TNC are like, whatever, you have a free farming Weaver, that's fine. And Chaos are like, I hope you can carry us, because we don't really have much going on for us.
Oh god, we give you Weaver, what were you thinking? Thank god you're a really good player. Yeah, it's again, continues to be the ultimate question of, again, we can't overlook Huskar too. Yes, the start was rough, but Huskar is recovered a bit. He's up to 2 deaths, but looks like he's even going a 3rd bracer, I suppose, so we'll see how that turns out. But honestly, I'm thinking like, what, an armlet into a Heaven's Halberd this game does seem pretty strong for them.
Yeah, I would say so. But the thing is, yeah, Huskar is not a hero that you want to have to be recovering on, though. He's a very snowball-based hero. And the one thing that's going for him is that the inner fire disarm is going to be valuable all game long, as we may see it unleashed on Tim's, ideally Gabby, but it looks like HFN may be content going for Tim's, or may not be able to get either. Wow. As a little bit of indecision costs them, and Tim's retreats, and Gabby just straight up TPs out of the lane.
Yeah, they saw that coming somewhere. They got the vision. I mean, is this where I'm not 100% sure, but they clearly got information. Simply a missing culprit happened on the Grimstroke, and so wasn't able to get it off. So yeah, good response from TNC. And I go back to as well, Phantom Assassin, the fact that she's top farm in the game, and I don't think she's been given the Empower buff once yet. That's not good news.
I don't think Reor has even panned his camera to the bot lane yet a single time. His hands are full with the Weaver, who is currently trying to do a little wraparound move. I mean, the Magnus is fairly low, but it doesn't look like Weeha's going to be able to do anything as Kunkka and the Lich both rotate to this top lane.
Yeah, RP this early on especially is definitely worth a solo RP on a Weaver.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But unable to do so there.
Tim's...
Jukes the shards.
No, he's dead.
Still dead. No,
there he goes.
Vlad's build on Gabby. Again, he has the Empower buff coming, so of course no Battle Fury, and just gonna go on that Vlad's, which is arguably one of the strongest items in this patch right now, so ultimately not a big surprise perhaps, but this is something you can do, again, when you have that Empower buff to take advantage of.
Right, like I said, TNC are able to not put as much pressure on their one position, and this is one position who got a lot done, but you don't need to prioritize farming items or anything like that. You're able to just be a little bit more greedy because you can rely on the Empower, which is now maxed out. It's level 7 Magnus, maxed out in power, and Gabby's gonna blur up, maybe try to go for a kill on HFN potentially. I mean, they have RP, but
also looking top lane. King RD's fine though. Oh, what, in the mid lane you're saying?
Yeah, HFN. I mean, I haven't really seen this Huskar do very much, and like I said, Huskar is a snowball-based hero, so anytime that you see Huskar just kind of like twiddling his thumbs is kind of stressful for the entire team, because you're like, when are you going to start creating pressure on the team? And it may be once he completes his armlet, which he's the courier.
Okay. By the way, this top lane.
Oh yeah, was something going on up there?
Boy, I was just, honestly, that was amusing. Very well played by King RD first off, and if they especially kill Armel in return, he goes for the tiebreaker attack and it hits, but it's not enough damage, and they indeed are. So ends up being a 2-for-0. They were hunting Wyvern for a good 30 seconds up there in the trees. They finally got him, and then he cursed. As middle lane, by the way, that was an RP used on Huskar. HFN push back with the inner fire, has some damage of the regen kicking in, but it is not enough. So finally the RP comes out, and it does set up the kill eventually. But yeah, I mean, that was a great turn though, again, by King RD on that Wyvern. Ultimately though, in the big picture, it's still pretty good for TNC as they get that kill middle.
Yeah, core goes down on both sides, and it's the mid lane on both. But there's more pressure on the Huskar, far more pressure on the Huskar than there is on the Kunkka. Kunkka, I'm actually even surprised that he's going for the Shadow Blade on, I mean, I guess it's in reaction to the fact that Weaver's getting freeform, but I would like Armel to just go Ultra Tank, as now he gets an X onto Weeha, has the boat, Sentry Ward placed, Chain Frost as well.
Weaver!
Sinister Gaze.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fair to say like that, I guess, but it's this, yeah, you get caught by one sun, and this goes back to the Kunkka pick specifically. That X marks the spot. It just sets up everything else that's nearby, and there was nothing that we could do. By the time the X was out, it's like, all right, I mean, he's dead. there's no reaction at that point.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'm okay with him going for the Diffusal Blade, because even if he does go for the Lincolns first, then, like, you're gonna have to immediately leave whenever a dagger comes out, and you're just like, well, I can't join the fight for like 14 seconds now. So no matter what you build, there's no good answer, just because the Weaver hero is just not equipped to deal with this draft that TNC have brought out.
Well, Blink on Tavo, they have HFN with the armlet, they're moving, they're trying to get a couple, 1 or 2 kills, and they might find one. Avalanche kind of hitting both. The Lich is the main target, and they do get the free kill, but 4-man smoking, again, it's something, but not the most ideal for Chaos. He already has 1,800 gold saved up, so he's going to go into that Blink Dagger pretty quickly, how things considered. And this is also going to be a Deso build on Phantom Assassin, by the way. Again, goes back to the Empower buff and get away with this. Vlad's into Deso, and she is going to be, as expected, a pretty dangerous threat.
Yeah, this is the calm before the storm, because TNC are going to get all these items probably in like this 3 minutes. I imagine it's 16 minutes. TNC are just going to pop off with all these power spike items. So TNC are hopefully equipping themselves for some objective to take, because oftentimes, I'll kill mid lane in the meanwhile, but TNC are smoking up, they're looking organized, and they may find Tavo.
Yep, gonna be a guaranteed find Tava. Although he actually blinked first and throughout the avalanche, so it's almost like maybe he didn't realize initially or he was trying to react as far as being jumped. Either way,
I think it looked like a warding mission initially, and he was like, oh nice, I found supports trying to ward. Oh god, they're not warding at all.
The whole team's here. Well, at least so negative for Chaos, because it's, again, still chance, down 4,000 net worth. But you know the Weaver, although it's some issues this game. Dragonlance around the
Huskar
corner.
is scared to jump on a Grimstroke, which, I mean, rightfully so. The entire enemy team is inside your jungle, but still, like, have we seen very many life tricks at all as now fight breaks out, RP comes out.
And that's all still on top of the Winter Script, trying to save the day. They do kill Tim's right there with the Splinter Blast, but they lose Huskar in the end. So at least Weaver is able to survive. Tava, what are you doing, buddy? Decides to go back in. I guess that's the play. Just distract a bit. X is up in a second. Kunkka choosing not to chase further, though. What's going on up here? Gabby, he jumped up. Gets the kill on a Wyvern. Now he jumps back down. Gonna kill Misery on top of that. This is a very scattered fight right now. Not sure what to think of it. Triple kill for Gabby, though. I suppose we're thinking TNC is fairly happy with the outcome, but it seemed like several different fights were happening in the same area. The coordination kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think Chaos were a little bit more confident than they should have been. There were two buybacks, Misery on the Tusk and King RD on the Winter Wyvern, both buyback, both TP to the tier 2 mid and the Shrine, and Tusk dies again. The Templar is, I mean, Phantom Assassin is just massive right now. The max in power usually carries so early on. Most of the time, after tier 1 towers go down, will the carry be like, okay, start giving me in power. But Gabby moved out of the bot lane very early on. Gabby was like, as soon as he saw the Huskar attempting to gank mid, that was the last time he went to the bot lane. And then ever since then, Gabby's just been all over the map, getting in power buffs, farming up the Angel.
A Roshan attempt. Seems like Chaos is somewhat aware that this might be happening, but it's your classic case of what the hell do we do, even though we know, because it's tough. I mean, they have a curse, so they have Wyvern, but she's not there. Running over, they're drawing a line to it. It looks like they know now, for sure. They're running over, but it's probably not going to be in time.
Nope.
Yeah,
at most, they can hope to get the tier 2 bot, but I imagine that TNC are going to immediately look to defend it. And looks like Gabby in there. At most, you kill a support, but like the Phantom. Why do I keep calling her Templar? The Phantom Assassin can immediately converge.
Weaver's in trouble. He ran right into a Shadow Blade Kunkka, and here's the combo coming out. The ship connect. Cannot get a time lapse. No.
Silence
was on him, yeah. And why would you try to fight this after your Weaver just died, guys? This seems dangerous, Gabby. He's trying to find
the real question is, why were they trying to fight after they just claimed double damage rune? Oh wait, not double damage. That was just a lot of damage in general.
It looked like it.
It's just a fat crit on Misery, and yeah, this is not a Tusk who's going to be getting a Blink Dagger, and that is really your best solution at dealing with TNC right now. This is not FY the Tusk King.
No, it's a struggle. It's a struggle game right now for Chaos, down 8,000 net worth even at almost 18 minutes into the game. And this is what this current patch can do. I know I'm not the first to say that, but the pace of the game feels a bit quicker than it has in previous patches, and especially where we have a lot more of these snowbally potential games. So we're seeing that here from TNC.
That being said, game 1 was in the opposite direction. It could have been snowballing in the favor of Chaos, but TNC fended it off and turned it into a mid to late game victory.
Different circumstances, but yes. That is true. I understand the hype. They lose tier 2 tower at the bottom lane. Point is, they still have their base intact, and that's what really matters right now. Huskar, he's doing what he can. Did he finish something? It's either or. So
turn it around, RP from the gaze into the X, into the silence, into the bounty.
Kill Weeha, the game plan. Yeah, I mean, they're not afraid to use everything, because once they kill this Weaver, there's just no damage threat, it feels like.
No, the biggest threat is the curse, honestly. The biggest threat is Phantom Assassin killing her allies. That's really the only thing that TNC need to be careful about. Armel has coup de grace in just 3 levels as well. It's going to take a miracle for Chaos to turn this around.
Easy days into just too much follow-up damage. She has another Mithril Hammer, good to go, on her way towards a Basher, it looks like.
Yeah.
Gonna be next. Is that even finished? Oh, she's got a BKB. I was gonna say, I thought she had even something else. Okay, there you go. BKB delivered, and then a Basher will be coming on top of that.
They can go to high with this BKB. They still got a good minute and a half left on this Aegis. Although Magnus is kind of MIA right now, and they don't have RP available. He's off hunting bounty runes, so I guess that's a little bit more valuable usage of their time. And they could bait this. TNC is waiting outside the tier 3. Gabby's blurred up, and he may run into Weehaw, although he doesn't have a good way of sticking to Weehaw. He was just farming some ancients, and he's like, hey, look, a Weaver.
He may not need lockdown if he just two-shots him, but unable to do that at least. So gets away, but yeah, close call there. Wyvern, this is what Wyvern can do, is kind of split push and be a distraction elsewhere. That's what he's attempting to accomplish at least. But back to the middle lane, the dagger coming out, HFN. He's keeping his distance, or trying to, but that's a Phantom Strike for you. And he is dead. Gabby, he's in, but again, he has an Aegis, he has a BKB, he doesn't care really even fight. They need that big Winter's Curse you were mentioning earlier. But
yeah, but everyone's staying so far away from PA. They're like, God, I really don't want Gabby to kill me.
No, they're being very smart about it as Gabby just continues.
Literally both teams are just like, I hope Gabby doesn't kill me. That's the mindset of TNC and Chaos right now.
It's, you know, Blink Dagger is finished on Wyvern, so that might catch them off guard here, unless they saw it already. Either way, they are still spreading out. Yeah, it's very well played by TNC here. That's not giving them a chance for a big word, just curse. Almost that black hole presence, essentially. And that's a dagger. He just curses the Kunkka. And Cold Embrace will save him at least a legend. They're just going to call GG. TNC will dominate in game 2 here. And they do for me in this game 2 at least.
Yeah. I'd say maybe like 75% draft, 25% outplay. Because